Hi, good day everyone. It's me, JP Ercilia, and for today's video, we'll be discussing another problem from our reference book, which is Fundamentals of Analytical Chemistry 9th edition by Skoog and West. The problem that I chose is the problem 14-38, which deals with the preparation of the titration curve. So before we proceed to the actual problem, let us know first what is a titration curve. Titration curves are plots of concentration-related variable as a function of reagent volume. So when you are plotting your titration curve, always remember that your x-axis will always be the volume of the titrant and your y-axis will always be your pH. The volume of the titrant in your x-axis will always be the available information and the pH in your y-axis will always be the measurable one. Since in the problem we're going to titrate a strong base with a strong acid, it is important for us to know the 4 points of titration. First is the initial point. In the initial point, you haven't started the titration. So what's in your solution is only the analyte and the pH will base on your concentration of the analyte. Second is the pre-equivalence point. In the pre-equivalence point, there is a reaction of the analyte on the amount of titrant that is being drawn from the burette. Third is the equivalence point. In the equivalence point, the concentration of your hydronium ion is always equal to the concentration of your hydroxide ion. Moreover, in your equivalence point, the volume of the analyte is equals to the volume of the titrant. And last is the post-equivalence point. In the post-equivalence point, all of your analyte has reacted and the titrant is the one who's left in the solution. So basically, the pH will base on the concentration of the titrant. Now that the concept of titration curve is already clear for us or to us, let us now proceed to the actual problem. A 50 ml aliquot of 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide is titrated with 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid. Calculate the pH of the solution after the addition of 0, 10, 25, 40, 45, 49, 50, 51, 55, and 60 ml of acid and prepare a titration curve from the data. So in this problem, we're about to calculate the pH of the solution after the addition of the certain volume of the titrant to the analyte and to prepare a titration curve from the given or from the obtained data, which is the pH. But before we proceed to the solution of the problem, let us first identify which one is the titrant and which one is the analyte. Since in this problem, the sodium hydroxide is being titrated with the hydrochloric acid, then the sodium hydroxide is our analyte and the hydrochloric acid is our titrant. Now that we already know the titrant and the analyte, let us now proceed to the diagram of the problem. 50 ml of 0.1 NaOH is being titrated with HCl until we reach the end point. So this is the balance equation and these are the required for this problem. From the problem, we're not given with the volume of the titrant at the equivalence point. We will going to utilize this equation to obtain the volume of the titrant at equivalence point. Millimoles of analyte is equals to the millimoles of the titrant, which is also the millimoles of the sodium hydroxide, is equals to the millimoles of hydrochloric acid. From this equation, we will obtain 50 ml of hydrochloric acid as our volume of the titrant at the equivalence point. At the initial point, since the solution has not yet starting, the pH will going to be based from the concentration of the hydroxide ion, which is 0.1. pOH is equals to negative logarithm of 0.1 that will give us 1.00 pOH. The pH will be obtained by subtracting the pOH to 14.00, and from this we will going to have 13.00 as the pH of the solution at the initial point. So let us now proceed to the pre-equivalence point. From the problem, we are given 5 volume which serves as the pre-equivalence points. The concentration of the hydroxide ion in the equivalence point or the pre-equivalence point will be obtained using this equation. Original amount of hydroxide minus amount of the hydrochloric acid added multiplied by the stoichiometric ratio all over the total volume of this solution. And when we add 10 ml of the 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid, the concentration of the hydroxide ion will going to be 0.06667. From this, we'll get the pOH, which is the negative logarithm of the concentration of the hydroxide ion, which will give us 1.1761. From this, we will obtain the pH of the solution when 10 ml of hydrochloric acid is added, and it is 14 minus 1.7161 is equals to the 12.8239. 12.8239 is the pH when 10 ml of hydrochloric acid is added. We are still at the pre-equivalence point, and when we add 25 ml of 0.1 hydrochloric acid, we will obtain 0.0333 hydroxide concentration of the hydroxide ion. We are still using the concentration of the hydroxide ion because at the pre-equivalence point, the amount of the analyte, which is the sodium hydroxide, is still greater than the amount of titrant, which is the hydrochloric acid. From this, we will obtain 1.4772 rather as the pOH, and we will obtain pH when we subtract the pOH to 14, which is 14 minus 1.4772 is equals to 12.5228. 12.5228 is our pH when we add 25 ml to the analyte. The same process will be going to utilize these three remaining pre-equivalence points, which are 40, 45, 49. And when we add 40 ml, we're going to have 12.0457 as the pH. When we add 45 ml, we're going to have 11.7212 rather as the pH and 11.0043 as the pH of the solution when we add 49 ml of 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid. It is observable that as we add more titrant to the analyte, the pH gets smaller and smaller. It is because we are titrating a base with an acid. And when we add more and more of the hydrochloric acid, the solution will get more acidic. That is why the pH of the solution are getting lower. Now that we are done with the pre-equivalence point, let's now proceed to the equivalence point. The equivalence point, the concentration of the hydronium ion and the hydroxide ion are equal. So we're going to use the ionization constant of water, which is the 1.00 times 10 to the negative 14, since it is equal to the hydronium ion multiplied by the hydroxide ion. From this, we will get the concentration of hydronium ion and hydroxide ion as 1.00 times 10 to the negative 7. And from this, we will obtain the pH as the negative logarithm of 1.00 times 10 to the negative 7 is equals to 7. 7 is the pH at the equivalence point because we are titrating strong base and strong acid that yields the neutralization at the equivalence point. Next is the post-equivalence point. At the post-equivalence point, the amount of the analyte has already reacted so that it is only the titrant that is left at the solution. Instead of using hydroxide ion, we will now going to utilize the hydronium ion or the concentration of hydronium ion to get the pH of the solution. The concentration of the hydronium ion is equals to the millimoles of the hydrochloric acid minus the millimoles of the original, which is 50 times 0.1 molar. That will yield all over 50 plus 51, or the total volume, that will yield us to 9.901 times 10 to the negative 4 molar. Negative logarithm of 9.901 times 10 to the negative 4 equals to 3.0043. So 3.0043 is the pH of the solution when we add 51 ml of 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid. The same process is going to be applied to the last two post-equivalence points, which are the 55 ml and 60 ml. When we add 55 ml of hydrochloric acid, we'll obtain 2.3222 as the pH of the solution, and when we add 60 ml of hydrochloric acid, we're going to have 2.0414 pH of the solution. Now that we are already done with the calculation of the pH, let us now proceed to the preparation of the titration curve. And from this diagram, or from this plot, you can see that from 13 we drop from to 7, and we drop to 2, or to the pH of 2. It is because we are titrating the base with the acid, or the sodium hydroxide with the hydrochloric acid. It is the other way around, or the plot will be reversed if we're going to titrate the acid with the hydroxide, or with the base. It is also advisable to use many points for us to see clearly the inflection point. This is the inflection point. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you have questions or clarification, please comment down it to the comment box below. Thank you.